uh, Virgo, two things um, at once. Um, and they're not as separate um, as they might appear. Um, Money moving towards you, um, and someone who has always operated like your value was something they got to determine, um, suddenly reaching out um, simultaneously. Um, um, and what I'm sensing um, in the energy right now is that these two arrivals are connected in a way um, that is worth understanding before either one fully lands. Um, um, let's start with the arrogant person um, because that word, arrogant, um, is specific, um, not difficult, not complicated, um, not someone who had a bad season um, and showed up poorly. Um, Arrogant, um, which means uh, a consistent operating posture, a way of moving through the world um, that places them uh, in their own estimation um, above the people around them, above you. Um, uh, Specifically, um, and you at some point felt that um, the specific um, slightly diminishing quality of being around someone who behaves as though your presence uh, is convenient for them um, rather than valuable to them. The version of being seen um, that doesn't actually feel like being seen um, because what they were seeing was what you could do for them rather than who you actually are. Mm. And now they're reaching out. Um, um, and um, the only question worth asking is why. Uh, because arrogant people, when they reach out after a period of distance, tend to do so for one of two reasons. Um, the first, they need something, um, uh, something specific um, that you have, or that your connection to them provides. Um, and the reaching out, um, however warmly packaged, um, is fundamentally transactional. Um, uh, Dressed in the language of, um, I've been thinking about you, or it's been too long, but operating from um, I have a need, um, and you're well positioned to meet it. Um, and the second reason, uh, and this one is rarer, um, but it happens. Um, um, they've changed, um, not performance of change, actual uncomfortable, uh, required real work, um, change, the kind that produces a different quality of reaching out, um, a humility uh, in the approach that wasn't present before. Um, uh, and the reaching out um, in this version feels like an acknowledgement of what the dynamic was, of what they contributed to that made it untenable, of the specific ways they operated that didn't honor what was being offered. Um, the question, and you probably already sensed the answer, um, is which version this is. This reflection invites you to consider what is the quality of the reaching out, um, not the content, the quality. Does it have a specific, slightly entitled expectation of a warm reception that arrogance tends to carry, um, even in its attempts at warmth? Or does it carry something quieter, um, something that suggests the person doing the reaching is not entirely sure um, of their reception and is reaching anyway, because that uncertainty in someone who previously operated without it is the most reliable signal available that something genuinely shifted. Uncertainty in an arrogant person is evidence of growth. Confidence in their reception is evidence of the same old pattern. Notice which one is present. Now, the money. Um, because money coming in the context of this arrogant person reaching out is not coincidental. What I'm sensing in the energy around the financial piece is that your value, the specific, demonstrable, visible to everyone now value that you carry is becoming undeniable. In a way, it possibly wasn't. During the period when this person was operating arrogantly toward you, and that undeniability, the financial evidence of it is what's producing the reach. Because arrogance at its core is a hierarchy, is less than #0. 7#, a fixed belief about where people sit relative to each other. And when the hierarchy shifts visibly in ways that cannot be argued with, arrogant people tend to recalibrate. Not always from growth, sometimes from pragmatism. The specific, calculated, this person is now someone I should be in relationship with, recalibration, and that's worth knowing, is less than #0, 5#, before you receive the reach. Because here's what's also coming through, and this is important. The money that's arriving is yours. Not contingent on them. Not produced by their reach. Not something that requires their involvement to materialize. It's been building from what you've been doing, from the quiet, consistent, integrity-based work that has been accumulating without announcement into something that's now ready to produce. And the timing of their reach happening alongside the financial shift is not an accident. They're sensing the shift is less than #0, 0#. Even if they can't articulate it, is less than #0, 5#. Even if they would frame it differently, is less than #0, 7# to themselves. Is less than #0, 0#. Is less than #0, 5#. Something in their awareness is less than #0. 7# is registering, is less than #0, 0#, that your trajectory is less than #0, 5# is moving, is less than #0, 7# is less than #0, 0# upward, is less than #0, 5# significantly, is less than #0, 7# is less than #0, 0#. And they want to be is less than #0, 5# in proximity to that, is less than #0, 7#. This reflection invites you to consider what would their involvement in your current season actually cost you, not financially, energetically. The specific attention and bandwidth that navigating this person historically required, the managing of their ego, the careful calibration of how you presented yourself to avoid triggering the arrogance, the specific slightly smaller version of yourself that operating in their presence tended to produce, because that cost paid during a season when your energy belongs entirely to what you're building might be higher than the benefit of the connection is less than #, 0# warrants, is less than #0, 5#, know the cost, is less than #0, 7#, before you decide, is less than #, 0#, whether to open the door is less than #0, 5#, is less than #0, 7#. The third energy coming through is less than #0, 0#. And this is the one is less than #0, 5# that I want you to hold, is less than #0, 7#, most carefully, is less than #, 0# is your position, is less than #0, 5#, is less than #0, 7#. Right now is less than #, 0# in this specific moment is less than #0, 5#. You are in the most powerful position, is less than #0, 7# available, is less than #, 0# in this dynamic, is less than #0, 5#, is less than #0, 7#, money coming, is less than #0, 0#, trajectory rising, is less than #0, 5#. And someone is less than #0, 7#, who previously operated is less than #0#, as though you were the one, is less than #0, 5#, who needed them is less than #0, 7#, now reaching towards you, is less than #, 0#, is less than #0, 5#. The table has turned, is less than #0, 7#, is less than #, 0#, and turned tables is less than #0, 5# in relationships with arrogant people is less than #0, 7# require a specific kind of navigation, is less than #, 0#, is less than #0, 5#, not revenge, is less than hash 0, 7 hash, not the performance of indifference. Is less than hash zone, 0 hash, not the mirror version, is less than hash 0, 5 hash of their previous arrogance, is less than hash 0, 7 hash directed back at them, is less than hash 0, 0 hash, is less than hash 0, 5 hash, because mirroring arrogance is less than hash 0. 7 hash, however satisfying it might feel in the moment, costs you something. It costs you the clarity of someone who operates from their own values, rather than in reaction to someone else's behavior. And in this season, with money arriving and trajectory rising, operating from your values is the most important thing. Not from their previous behavior, not from the history, not from the satisfying narrative of being the one high who gets to be arrogant now, from your values, which probably say assess clearly, decide deliberately, and respond from your center, not from the wound, not from the power, from the center. Now, the practical, what do you actually do when the reach arrives? First, don't respond immediately. Not to punish them. To give yourself the specific, deliberate, am I responding from my center or from reaction? Time. Because immediate responses to unexpected contact from people who carry history tend to be reactive, and reactive in this specific dynamic serves them, not you. Second, assess what you actually want from this connection in your current season, not what you wanted before. Is less than hash home, 0 hash, not what the history is less than hash 0, 5 hash, or the wound is less than hash 0, 7 hash, or the satisfaction of the turned table is less than hash hone, 0 hash wants, is less than hash 0, 5 hash, is less than hash 0, 7 hash. What you is less than hash hone, 0 hash in this season. is less than #0 5 hash with money coming. Is less than #0 7 hash and trajectory rising is less than #hone 0 hash actually want is less than #0 5 hash is less than #0 7 hash, and third is less than #hone 0 hash. If you decide to respond, is less than #0 5 hash respond from terms is less than #0 7 hash is less than #hone 0 hash yours is less than #0 5 hash clearly stated is less than #0 7 hash without the apology is less than #hone 0 hash that previous versions of you is less than #0 5 hash might have offered is less than #0 7 hash for having them is less than #hone 0 hash is less than #0 5 hash. These are my terms. Is less than #0 7 hash. This is what engaging with me is less than #hone 0 hash in this season is less than #0 5 hash looks like is less than #0 7 hash is less than #hone 0 hash take it or leave it is less than #0 5 hash without performance is less than #0 7 hash without drama is less than #hone 0 hash just is less than #0 5 hash the clear is less than #0 7 hash grounded is less than #hone 0 hash this is who I am now statement is less than #0 5 hash of someone is less than #0 7 hash who knows their value is less than #hone 0 hash and isn't negotiating it is less than #0 5 hash for anyone's comfort is less than #0 7 hash is less than #hone 0 hash including theirs is less than #0 5 hash. This reflection invites you to consider what are your terms, not what you'll demand, what you require for this connection to be worth your energy in this specific season, the specific behavioral things, not the feelings that would need to be present for this to make sense. Because knowing your terms clearly in advance means the decision when you make it is made from clarity rather than from the momentum of the reach itself. And a decision made from clarity is less than #0 7 hash in a situation with this much history is less than hash hone. 0 hash is always is less than hash 0. 5 hash always is less than hash 0. 7 hash, the right one, is less than hash hone. 0 hash is less than hash 0. 5 hash, the power is yours, is less than hash 0. 7 hash, it always has been, is less than hash hone. 0 hash, is less than hash 0. 5 hash, money is moving toward you, is less than hash 0. 7 hash, from what you've been building, is less than hash hon. 0 hash, from the quiet is less than hash 0. 5 hash consistent is less than hash 0. 7 hash integrity based work is less than hash hone. 0 hash that didn't require an audience is less than hash 0. 5 hash is less than hash 0. 7 hash. And someone is less than hash hone. 0 hash, who previously operated, is less than hash 0. 5 hash, as though your value is less than hash 0. 7 hash was theirs to determine is less than hash hone. 0 hash is now reaching toward you, is less than hash 0. 5 hash is less than hash 0. 7 hash, because the value is less than hash 0. 0 hash is now undeniable, is less than hash 0. 5 hash is less than hash 0. 7 hash, even to them, is less than hash zone. 0 hash is less than hash 0. 5 hash, receive both, is less than hash 0. 7 hash, the money and the reach is less than hash hone. 0 hash, from your center is less than hash 0. 5 hash deliberately is less than hash 0. 7 hash from your terms is less than hash hone. 0 hash is less than hash 0. 5 hash. The money is less than hash 0. 7 hash, without hesitation, is less than hash hone. 0 hash, it's yours, is less than hash 0. 5 hash, it was always yours, is less than hash 0. 7 hash is less than hash hone. 0 hash, the reach is less than hash 0. 5 hash, with discernment, is less than hash 0. 7 hash, with clear eyes, is less than hash hone. 0 hash, with the specific hash hone, is less than hash 0. 5 hash, I know what this is less than hash 0. 7 hash, and I know what I want is less than hash hone. 0 hash, and I'm making this decision, is less than hash 0. 5 hash for me is less than hash 0. 7 hash, not for them, is less than hash hone. 0 hash, clarity, is less than hash 0. 5 hash is less than hash 0. 7 hash, both, is less than hash hone. 0 hash, from your center is less than hash 0. 5 hash, from your terms um, is less than #7#. Is less than #home. 0#. That's the whole move. Is less than #0. 5#. Take what resonates, softly release the rest. Trust yourself. Tell me in the comments when an arrogant person reaches out after your circumstances change, what's your first instinct? Engage or ignore? Drop it below. And what are your terms, the non-negotiables for anyone who wants access to you in this season? Name them here out loud. That's everything today. Receive the money without hesitation. Receive the reach with discernment from your center, from your terms, always from your terms. See you soon.